Hi there, I'm Mugs, and this is Consent. This is an exhibition about hacking, and about sound, and about your right to privacy. This is the clue plant. The clue plant devours data. So the clue plant invites you to connect to its Wi-Fi code called Let Me Eat You. Upon consenting and connecting, which is a really specific action, you will have your data transformed into low-frequency sound. And it's so low frequency that you can't hear it, you feel it. And that is the feeling of your privacy being invaded. How the clue plant works is that the clue plant has a bridge between its network interface and the audio interface. So everything that passes through the network becomes sound. It becomes very low frequency sound, courtesy of my subwoofers here, which I invite the audience to sit on, because it's quite exhilarating. And the clue plant is a comment on how often people are sleepwalking through giving consent to cookies. So if you're on a website and it asks you to accept cookies, don't hit accept all, because that's what they're guiding you towards doing. Actually consider your consent. You don't know what happens to your data after you've given that consent. And the objective of the clue plant is to show you that something is happening to your data, because you can feel it being consumed. Reject all cookies. That's the moral of the story. In the next room, we have got what is essentially a hacker cosplay area. So, live hacking and the ability to see your hacking transformed into this immersive installation all around you. It's an invitation for the audience to put on some sunglasses and do their best 90s hacker movie voice. I'm in. What I've been showing in here tonight for the private view was real life hacking of some juicy targets, which was scrolling in the background, and also the audience were able to type, and it was magically transformed into hackerish looking text. This is a classic green on black. This is a color that I've playfully trademarked, hacker green. And we can come through to the library, which is the final part. In the library, I've assembled some books all about hacking, and there's plenty to learn here. There's also philosophy to contextualize it, because when I was a teenager, I started trying to read Nietzsche. I didn't understand it enough. I tried a bit later in my life, and I took away the message that Nietzsche's will to power is an invitation to craft your own superhero ability, essentially. And I think that that really sums up a lot of the hacker ethos, is that you don't have the skills to be a hacker by default. So the idea of being born with talent doesn't exist. But you can teach yourself that talent, and you can nurture it, and you can become skillful and connected and be in the hacker community, which is the purpose of an event that we had on one day called Beacon, which was a hacker conference, which was within the context of the exhibition. And that was an opportunity to bring together London's top hackers, professional ones that need to stay undetected during their work. And that made for some really interesting conversation and talks and workshops, and all the hackers just chilling out here in the library. And we had a very good time. Also, we had a film screening on Tuesday night, which was an immersive sound art film called Johnny, which was about systems, but it was a different type of system. And it was about vulnerability, but it was a different flavour of vulnerability. It was about homelessness and the mental health system. And it was a film that I developed from a recording that I made 15 years ago of a musical conversation. So the message here really is that there are different dimensions of vulnerability. There are social, emotional, and cyber. There are philosophical reasons why hackers exist. We look at the systems that surround us and think, what can we do to either mitigate them or play with them a little bit? And I think that there is probably a origin story to be shared amongst hackers, which is where we realize that we have our own agency to develop that skill and use it for whatever purpose we decide to. I'm a professional, so I only use it for good and to help people. And to reiterate my point from the clue plant, the main message that I want to share about from the vulnerable exhibition and the consent installations is reject all cookies.